Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a video for you on the Parle Moi de Parfum perfume range. This is a niche fragrance house. They have some really interesting, really lovely scents. So I have a whole bunch of them to take you through today. I also have an article that goes through all of their fragrances as well with links of where you can get them. And I'll also put the links to where you can buy these down below in the description box for UK, Europe, North America, Australia, where they're available. If you're a new viewer, then hello, welcome. We are all about perfumes. Check out my other hundreds of videos that go through whole perfume ranges like this, and I review all new releases. And if you're a regular, do check to see if you're subscribed. Most people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so do check. It really helps me, and we're nearly at that 100k subscriber mark. And you can sign up to my newsletter in the description box down below. Cool, so the Parle Moi de Parfum is a French perfume house, which is a family business. They have a shop in Paris where they show the whole creation process behind fragrances, the different ingredients, and then they're also stocked in department stores. And for a niche fragrance house, they're relatively reasonably priced. You're looking maybe about 90 euros entry. So I have their sample box of their 6 signature fragrances. I have a bunch of others. I'm going to start with my favorite, which you may have heard me talk about before. It's called Gardens of India. I fell in love with this fragrance the moment I smelt it. It's a complete homage to tuberose, and I do love tuberose, and this came out long before Armani My Way. And I would say that Armani My Way is quite similar to this, but this got there first. It's a teeny bit greener and sweeter than Armani My Way, I'd say. I always think this reminds me of the Yves Saint Laurent garden in Marrakesh when I visited there. You know, it's such a hot country and everything's quite dry, and then you go into this YSL garden and it's just so lush, and you immediately get this tropical smell of all the vegetation, the green sort of palm leaves. And I don't know if they were growing tuberose there or not, but to me this is exactly what it smelled like in my memory. So I love this for getting that like tropical vibe. But you know, it's an eau de parfum, it's strong, it lasts. You could wear this in the day or the evening. I tend to turn to this in the summertime when I want a strong perfume because it just feels so green and exotic and classy, and I do really like it. But you could wear it throughout the year. I do love tuberose. I do find it quite intoxicating. So this is definitely my favorite. You can see how they come in this sort of cardboard, like minimal plastic box. You have the lid, and then they have a cute little sort of sack here that they live in. So this one is called Flavia Vanilla, and they all have a number after them. So this one's 82, and that's like the number of formulations they went through to get to the final version. I think Kylie fragrances do that as well. So this is the 100ml size. This is a 50ml. They're the same bottle, just bigger. So this one, as you'd expect, is all about the vanilla. Though I have to say, I don't find it overly sweet at all. It does have a slight sugariness to the vanilla, but it's not overpowering. It's not hypnotic-y and sickly at all. It's definitely one for lovers of vanilla, but it's done in quite a classy way. And I wouldn't have said it was particularly a wintry fragrance. Oftentimes vanilla can, you know, remind you of like Christmas candles, and you would only really wear it in very warm weather, cold weather, sorry. Whereas this, I think you could wear all year round. It's elegant, it's soft, it's gentle, it's kind of a bit cashmere vanilla. Really nice, modern, delicate interpretation of vanilla, that one. So here we have one which I'm probably going to pronounce wrong. It's Guimauve de Noel, and this one again has that sugary vanilla, but the main note is an orange blossom. It kind of reminds me of Dolce & Gabbana Pour Femme Intense, that same deep, cozy orange blossom, sweet vanilla orange blossom. This isn't a fresh summery orange blossom. I think to me this is more of an autumnal fall fragrance, not necessarily winter. It's more like we're getting the weather's changing, you want to feel a little bit cozy, but you don't want to go like full intense deep vanilla. It's really pretty. It's quite unusual. It's got a bit of a sort of otherworldly feel to it in the way that Orange Blossom sometimes has. I really like it. I think it's really unique. You know, I love Orange Blossom, but it's just like cozy and interesting, and I think you could definitely wear this in the evening as well, like, you know, good few sprays. Yeah, it's almost a bit marshmallowy, a bit like the Kilian one, but I like it. I think it's a really unique scent. So next we have one called Entonde Rose. Now, as you might expect, this is a rose fragrance. I like that the names like aren't complex. So this is a rose and patchouli. So it's a relatively deep rose. Think sort of misty or absolutely blooming, but without any of the sweet fruity notes. In fact, I would say that the patchouli is 50% of the scent and the other 50% is that deep rose. I think this is a May rose. It's that slightly more oriental rose rather than the fresher damask rose. It's really quite strong as well. I think this is for someone that likes a heavy rose. It's quite unisex perhaps as well. I know there are some men that love wearing a rose scent. It doesn't have any sweetness and it's not really fresh, so it's more towards that more like deeper scent. Yeah, one of the most sort of heaviest roses on the market at the moment. It's more like a traditional rose that you might have got in the past. So next we have one called Tomboy Neroli, and you'd be right to think that this has plenty of neroli in. Really fresh neroli, very citrusy, and then there's a bit of an orange blossom underneath, but really this is all about that neroli. It's definitely got a green tree neroli type feel to it. Interestingly, neroli and orange blossom are from the same tree. I have an article on this over on my blog actually. So yeah, really nice. This is definitely one for fresh, you know, spring, summer, daytime. Very unisex. You could share this with your partner, definitely. So next we have one called Woody Perfecto. Now this name is slightly misleading because the main note is actually vetiver. There's no woody notes in here. There's a hint of a leather and also a hint of coffee as well, but really this is a tribute to vetiver. And vetiver is a green, woody, almost mossy scent. Again, super unisex. Anyone that likes vetiver should definitely be owning this because it's just all about the vetiver. Vetiver's used a lot in male fragrances, less so in female, but I know there are plenty of ladies that love it. Fresh, little hints of spiciness, but yeah, more daytime, fresh, invigorating. It's kind of like a bit of a hit, you know, wake up after your shower in the mornings type scent. Very clean feeling as well. So next we have one called Papayas Oud. So this is definitely their oud scent. It's quite a woody floral oud, again super unisex. It's quite balmy as well. I get balmy vetiver, leathery laburnum, cedar. There's a lot going on here, a little bit of a burnt charcoal. So the oudiness is there, but it's mixed with a ton of other different notes as well. So it doesn't have any sickliness to the oud, which I find sometimes this is more greener, woodier, naturey type oud, and it's not as heavy and intense as a lot of ouds out there, and it's a little bit more subtle, a little bit more delicate. But yeah, definitely one for oud lovers, but something a bit greener, perhaps something to wear during the day, and you could wear a heavier oud in the evening. Next we have one called Totally White. So this one is a wisteria fragrance. Usually in the April time, I tend to get a few messages asking for wisteria perfume recommendations because you can smell it everywhere as it blooms. So this is a great wisteria perfume. It really does smell all about wisteria. It smells like you're literally next to a big wisteria plant smelling it. There's a hint of a hawthorny note in here, which is cute, but yeah, it's all about that wisteria. It's very classic, quite feminine, very sort of British, you know, English country garden. Yeah, classic English floral note there. Next we have one called Milky Mou. So this definitely is musky, and it definitely does have a milky lactonic quality to it. It's also a bit woody as well. They've got sandalwood in here. Yeah, it kind of smells like a milk with sandalwood mixed into it. Very clean, skin-like, cozy and comforting type scent, and super unisex. Yeah, it smells very clean. I think if someone was wearing this, you could almost mistake it for not being a fragrance, for being like their smell. You know, they're just that clean, cottony, milky skin type smell. Quite unique. So next we have one called Eau Provence. Now Provence, of course, famous for its lavender feel, and lavender is the main note in here. That is such a beautiful lavender. It really does smell like Provence. And they've added a melon and watermelon note in here, which isn't there straight away. It comes after 10 seconds. And it really adds a fresh, airy, aquatic-y, watery feel to the lavender, which I really like, because lavender can sometimes feel a bit old-fashioned, you know, old lady, it can be a bit musky, whereas here it's very, very fresh lavender. It's like it's just rained on a lavender field. Yeah, I really like that melon. It's really coming through. Very like thirst quenching, very relaxing. Lavender really, you know, is a relaxing scent, helps you sleep. I think this is probably one of the nicest lavenders out there. I think combining that melon note is just so smart. It really adds something. I would never have occurred to me to add melon to lavender. So it really works. It is just like it's rained on a lavender field. Beautiful scent. And then lastly, I have one called Chypre Mojo. So this one has the patchouli in it that you'd expect from a Chypre fragrance, and a carnation. There's a lot of patchouli in here. And then kind of like with the Provence one, after sort of 20 seconds, you start getting a mango top note, but it really is like 80%, 85% patchouli. This is for patchouli lovers, lovers of Chypres, and then you've got a hint of the mango. Cool, so there are a few others in the range. I think there are 16 in total, and I go through them all on my article on my blog. But some really beautiful fragrances there, all very different, all feel very classy. And yeah, that Gardens of India one, I'm just addicted to it. But I love that Provence one with the melon. I like the Noel one for like Christmas time. You know, there's some really nice ones there. So definitely worth trying the Discovery set if you're interested in the brand. I'll leave it linked down below where you can get it. But that's it, guys. So thank you so much for watching, as always. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.